Allah my give no praise unto Yahweh Shema Shah Bashim Kohakodash. The partners under the apostles of Great Millstone and the honest brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. On the Baba body I come out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashim Shah Bashim Kohakodash. Giving no praise unto Yahweh Shema Shah Bashim Kohakodash. It's going to be a relatively quick video based upon the scripture that we see within the book of Mark, the 3rd chapter, speaking about if Satan's kingdom be divided up against himself, how shall it stand? Now we're living through the adversary's kingdom right now, his rulership. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, it covereth the faces of the judges thereof. And we understand that from the scriptures. This is the time prophetically where the Edomites was going to rule. 2 Corinthians 6:9, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we understand that from the scriptures. And we understand this is their time and this is their period of time to rule. Now, you see that there's different levels of Edomite. There's low-level Edomites, there's high-level Edomites, there's Edomites that are within the corporate world, there's Edomites that are within the lower menial task work, okay? And pretty much brothers have gone to this a lot of times and via different means, right? Explaining the injustice that happens within the society, namely how inequity, right? The lack of balance between equity, resources, and the distribution of resources across the world is conducted, and it's very unjust. You see the elite banking families and the different people that they have contracts with, they're doing very well. They get all manner of different tax exemptions. They get all manner of different things that they are assisted with. But ultimately, right, they're in a situation where right, they're doing a lot better than the regular Edomites, okay? They're doing a lot better than the regular, right, peon Edomites, which the peon Edomites are down at the bottom suffering, okay? The regular peon Edomites are down at the bottom suffering, right? And that really causes division. Now, some of that division is organic, namely a regular Edomite that looks at these particular things and sees the injustice. Obviously, they're gonna be irked, right? They're gonna be irked at the injustice that happens upon the face of the planet, namely amongst their own people. But also too, there's the artificial uprisings that you see, the diversionary tactics that the elite banking families use in order to keep your eye off the ball. Namely, when you see these Edomites, right, talking about migration is the reason why your house prices are going up, or the availability of houses is scarce. You know, that's not the truth. Okay, that's not the case. The reality of the situation is that house prices are going up, or access to houses is going down, because you got a situation upon the face of the planet where they've kept certain promises that they pushed out there onto the people, namely we're going to build X, Y, and Y houses every year. They've not kept to those so-called promises, okay? They've not kept to those so-called promises, and they've had a situation upon the face of the planet where really you got more people that need houses now than you've got that have houses. Also, too, developers have got an incentive not to build, simply because if you keep the availability of houses relatively low, then you could charge a premium on the little bit that you have. And even the car manufacturers have noticed that instead of producing, right, a whole bunch of cars, why don't you just produce a handful of cars but have higher margins? That's just more profitable business, okay? Less chance for things to go wrong. It's just more profitable all in all, right? And I say all of that to say this. Now you're looking at the people that's coming into the country saying they're the reason why you don't have particular things, but really it's the elites that set up a situation where you don't have anything, okay? Here it is, you're talking about tax rises. Tax rises are going to unnecessary means. But what about these big corporations that get all of these tax exemptions, right? And then they let you think about anything else other than pointing the fingers at themselves, and they're lining up their pockets with all kind of money, but you're there broke at the bottom. So ultimately, what does that lead to? That leads onto division, okay? Whether it be artificial or natural, whether it be, okay, the next policymaker, whether it be the right, the left, Labour, Conservative, they're going to make a difference within this world. That's what the thinking of the people is. And ultimately, that breeds even more contempt amongst the left and the right. Leading to what? Leading even to more division, okay? And what saith the scriptures? If Satan's kingdom be divided up against himself, how shall it stand? And the reality of the situation is this kingdom can't stand. Even in the inception of Edomite, right, dominance over the earth, what do we read about within the book of Maccabees? We see, within the book of Maccabees, Alexander and his various angels, Alexander and his various messengers, Salakia, they had a grip and a rule over the earth, right? And when they had a grip and a rule over the earth, what happened? They pretty much parted his kingdom, right, between themselves, and pretty much there was infighting, okay? There was already infighting. And then you had the Roman Empire, and when you had the Roman Empire, what did you have? You had infighting amongst them, backstabbing, okay? All of that. So even from the beginning, it's always been divided. There's always been a difference of opinion, whether it be organic or artificial. There's always been a difference of opinion on how to do things. And now you're coming to the realization that pretty much this whole thing is being set up from the get-go to fall. Like the scripture says, if Satan's kingdom is divided up against himself, how shall it stand? So when you see all of these people coming up against each other, left, right, conservative, Labour, right, so-called British people standing up in so-called solidarity and all of that, realize that's the indicator to this kingdom being destroyed, man. Satan's kingdom cannot last, man, if it be divided up against himself. So with that, I'm going to say all praise unto Yahweh Shai, Hashem HaKorash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and I honor your brothers to be pushing the truth in sincerity. I'll see you in the next one. Shalom.